Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 25. And a reminder, there's still some of you who haven't booked your second check-in with me, so please make sure you do www.calendly.com/train on me. All right, book your scan. We're running them tomorrow. And again on, there's 2 days that you can book in, either Wednesday or Saturday, okay? In the morning. There's still plenty of spots available. Okay, more feedback here. So I'm still behind. But I think I'm somewhere around. Yeah. So I'm basically in last week. All right. So I'm moving ahead here. This person writes, deep stretches for psoas muscle. I'm a side sleeper and having difficulty with pain in the night. It wakes me up every night. I've been doing some stretches throughout the day, but it hasn't helped much. I'm also trying to sleep on my back, but old habits are hard to break. It still wakes me up, but the pain is not as bad and annoying. Okay, and obviously I know who this person is. I'll talk to you in private about I know that you're having some issues with your back, so we'll talk about that. But when it comes to your psoas, this is actually one reason when in class, when we're doing, whether it's walking lunges or forward lunges or split squats, when we reach the bottom of the movement, we want to make sure that we engage the glute on the back leg and keep that hip forward. This is a good active stretch. Okay, active stretching is so much better than static stretching. In fact, static stretching will give you temporary relief. That's at best. That's what you're gonna get out of static stretching. It's not really going to fix the problem if there is any sort of problem there. Let's be more specific. If there is a tight muscle, if there's calcification, what we need to do is we need to go through movement with stretching, which, by the way, if you work a muscle through its full range of motion, doesn't matter what exercise you're doing or how much weight you're doing, if you're doing full range of motion, you are going to actively stretch the muscle. All right, so this is another reason why I always remind you guys, we want range of motion before we want to add weight. We want to work on range of motion, okay? And you're going to get much more relief out of movement, even if it's, you might think in your mind, I'm doing this weighted movement, weighted or not, but let's just assume it's weighted. And then I need to stretch those muscles. No, if we work the muscles through full range of motion, you're going to be okay, all right? So with the psoas muscle, again, if we want to try to really give this a nice stretch, and I would suggest, again, stretching but going through movement, we've got to get into that split position, that split squat position, like the position of the bottom of a lunge. And we want to make sure that we engage the back glute, the glute on the back leg, and feel a good stretch through there. I can show you in class, all right? But just imagine what you would do at the bottom of a lunge or a split squat, that type of thing, where we're not letting the hips fall behind. We want to keep those hips underneath the shoulders and actively engage the glute. Squeeze the bum on the back leg, okay? So hopefully that's helpful to you. Okay, the topic of where the fat goes when we reduce our body fat percentage is always interesting. Do the fat cells shrink, or can we actually lose them? Okay, so you don't want to lose fat cells. Fat is really it acts like an organ. It releases different hormones. We need fat. Fat has function. All right, so we certainly don't want to be losing fat. So this is why it's so ridiculous that people get liposuction. It's literally like having your organs removed, okay, or portions of your organ removed. So where does the fat go? Well, the fat cells shrink, and essentially what's happening is when you gain fat, it's just storage of triglycerides, and when you lose it, you're essentially breaking down triglycerides. All right, so you can't, you're not going to lose them, nor would you want to. Interestingly though, if you overfeed a young child, You know what? I have to double check on this, but I'm pretty certain of this. I remember reading this. Your fat cells are set as a child. The number of fat cells, not the size of the fat cells, the number. And if you overfeed as a child, you can increase those number of fat cells. Okay, but it doesn't mean you can't get those fat cells really small. All right, which is really what we're all after. Well, it's part of what we're doing here in the challenge. We're trying to shrink some of our fat cells, right? We're trying to lose some of the triglycerides that are stored in the fat cell. Okay, 5.5 minutes. Let's get to the message of the day. All right, here are my 5 P's for self-improvement. Practice, promote, patience, persevere, and of course, positivity. All right, so practice. Well, we got to practice the pillars of this challenge. Okay, promote. You need to promote yourself. You need to tell yourself that you are worthy, that you can do this, that you can accomplish this, and that even if you are messing up, even if you know you're not perfect, even if you're struggling, that things can get better. Things will get better if you keep. Number 4. Okay, I'm skipping over number 3. If you keep persevering. Okay, you've got to keep persevering. All right, now number 3, patience. It does require patience. Okay, yeah, I know we're into week 4 and this is a 10-week challenge. We've got some big goals here, but do not lose sight, even if you feel, because we haven't done your second analysis yet, even if you feel like you're behind. And of course, we've got to maintain that positivity. All right, if you're not positive, you're just working against yourself ultimately. Okay, so practice, promote. Okay, so practice the pillars, in this case, the challenge, okay, or whatever it is that you're trying to improve at. Obviously, you're trying to improve in this challenge. Promote yourself, be patient, persevere, and stay positive, all right? Positive energy, kind of cheesy, I know. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for love, God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.